Hi, everybody. This is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life. I am so glad to be back on scene. It has been quite a bit of activity going on. Things have been just buzzing and blooming and budding, and I've just, allowed myself to kind of be and to listen and to focus on what's happening next with the stars, what's happening next with each other. And I'm really excited right now, and I want to share what I have with you. So first of all, we are approaching another full moon. The full moon is coming in bloom. And so some of you are blooming, some of you are blossoming, some of you are looking just like this star, this flower that's right here in the middle of this card. And so what I want to tell you about is how to just connect the energy that you have to be able to relate to the moon. And as the moon is coming in Virgo, 19th degree, it is bringing with it some really an interesting flare of energy. So first of all, it is a flowering moon, and it is an abundant moon in that sense. Now, I want us to start rethinking what we are saying about the word abundance. So I'm hearing that a lot. Abundance. I want to have my abundance. Abundant this, abundant that. I'm hearing it a lot, and I'm saying it now. And so what I want to do is think about what abundance really is for you. What is abundance for you? So when you think about this full moon that's coming in on March 9th, you think about how you are blooming, how you are budding, how you have accomplished a certain level of experience that allows you to blossom now. Think about where that exists for you. Where is that in your life? Where is that showing up for you? And that's what the full moon is all about. It's about showing up something about you, in you, around you. And so that's the phase that we're in. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this moon. I'm going to get into more detail about it, but I also want to talk to you about the mansion that it's in. It is in the 14th mansion. In this particular card deck, it's related to scepter, or they call it the scepter. Now, if you go and look up this thing about moons and mansions, you're going to learn a lot of things about it. Go do that. And whatever resonates with you about that, then you'll want to connect with that. So in looking at this card and in going into the text, and then I'll get to the text in a minute, we see a woman poised, which is a very Virgo thing, and the moon is in Virgo. This card is related to the degree status of Virgo, for those of you who are interested in that information. And behind her, there is a moon. It's full. Isn't that beautiful? And then right here and here, there's an orb and a scepter. Now, the orb represents your station in life, or it represents what you hold, what you possess, what it is that you have, okay? And so when you're thinking about abundance, you have to think about what you have, because what you have an abundance of is something that you are drawing to you because of who you are, because of how you are. And that is your abundance. And when you start to connect to that, then you really start to see it manifest for yourself, okay? So here we are with this very Venus-y woman, so that essence of Venus, I really see that there. I even see the balance in Venus, and sometimes people don't see the balance in Venus, but there is a balancer in Venus. And she's holding her orb, so what she possesses, what she has, and then she's holding the scepter, and the scepter is also a symbol of authority. It's a symbol of honor. It's a symbol of what is true for you. And so you want to think about that too. So anyway, we'll go into the text in just a second on that. But I just wanted to let you know about that. So again, the moon is in Virgo. The moon is in the 19th degree of Virgo. And what I learned through Sabian astrology, for those of you who are interested in that, I'm really interested in that because there's a fascinating history about the Sabians that is attached to astrology. And I mean, if anybody wants to go help me do some research on that, I would love that because I'm a closet anthropologist. But anyway, Virgo is in the 19th degree of Virgo. And according to Sabian astrology, they equate it with the caravan. It's like a caravan or like a sightseeing bus. I think it might have been that too. But anyway, it's a caravan. So it's all these people just kind of blending together and coming together. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. So for those of you who are doing things that are that give you that sense or give you that feeling, I don't care if it's with a group of friends, it could be with colleagues. For some of you, you all are working on projects with people and you're at that blooming, budding place and you're like, yay, you know, we're right at that place. So again, wherever it exists for you in your life, that's what you want to pay attention to. Don't pay attention to other people's style of abundance because that's where you get distracted, okay? Don't get distracted. You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused. All right. So what does this mean? These are a couple of things that it means. It talks about cooperation. It talks about aligning with a group of kindred souls. It talks about expanding your expectation of the harvest. So if you're anticipating a harvest, if you already know that it's your harvest season, if you've been told that it's your harvest season, because some people are telling you, this is your harvest, this is your harvest. All right, so if that's what's going on for you, you've got to focus on the harvest and expand your expectation of what you think the harvest is going to be. Woo, okay, that's a big deal. That's a big thing. I'm telling you, I'm so excited about this full moon. It's exciting. It's exciting. So anyway, it says to move away from life-denying poverty. Now, I mean, life-denying poverty. Poverty is a mind state. I understand it because I have lived it. But what I'm telling you is that sense of denying yourself life, whatever life is for you. This is a powerful moon. This is a very powerful moon. It also talks about broadening your mind. And when you broaden your mind, it deepens your consciousness. And when you deepen your consciousness, then you can raise your energy vibration. People talk about raising their energy vibration. It is not a small feat. It is not a small feat. It is something that takes a lot of mental focus and a lot of emotional focus, which is a different kind of focus. And it is not an easy thing to do. So I know that people just kind of, loosely talk about that. But in my opinion, it takes a lot to actually raise your energy vibration up. And it's a lot of work involved, but it's good work. It's great work, What can I say about that? All right, so we have Virgo, we have the caravan. That's your emotional side. That's what the moon is bringing in. This full moon is in full view. We are blossoming, right? We are focused on what we own and where we feel like we are in authority. There is a lot of self-esteem things in this. There's a lot that you want to think about in your inner self, okay? So depending on where you are with this, it's okay. It's okay. Wherever you are with it, it's okay. It's just about tapping into it and making yourself conscious about it, because every little step you make, then it will grow. It will definitely grow. All right, so moving right along. We have an opposition, of course, to the sun, because whenever there's a full moon, the moon the sun, they're in opposition. It doesn't mean a bad thing. It doesn't mean that it's something that's you're going to be fighting with necessarily. Not necessarily. It just depends. You have to look at the connection between the planets and what they're doing. All right, so the sun is the images of a table set, a nice table being set for you. So you've got everything laid out for you there. Affirmation of harvest. There we go again. Expression of gratitude. Not a bad practice. Nature's bounty. And being with family, friends, your tribe, your kindred souls. That goes back to that kindred souls. So even though there's an opposition between the moon and the sun, there are connections. There are connections between them that are common. And those connections that are common are what you'll want to focus on for the full moon. All right. Appreciation and gentle expectation. Now remember, it said to broaden your mind. It also said to expand your expectation. But it says also showing appreciation and having gentle expectation. So don't do the claw at it. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of let it come in and receive it with grace, which comes up later. All right. Nature is sensitive to our needs and it provides. That's what the sun is saying. And again, the sun is an expressive thing. So when we talk about affirmation of the harvest, when we're talking about expression of gratitude, sun is what you show on the outside. And so therefore, all of this goes together. Okay? All of this is connecting. These are connecting points. And that's the way I think about oppositions. They're really connecting points in a circular construct or spherical or whatever you like to think about it. That those points join when you get out of the linear thinking. That's a whole nother thing. Let me not go there. All right. So it says deal with the false threat of scarcity. The false threat of scarcity. That's so powerful. Oh my gosh. Deal with it. So if you haven't dealt with the false threat of scarcity within yourself, then deal with it during the full moon. That's it. Loss by expecting, deal with loss. And then it talks about expecting the bounty. So expecting it because there has been loss. So if you're in a situation where you're dealing with loss, you've had loss, you've lost your job, you've lost your connections, there's been a sense of loss, then in that, you know that bounty is next. So you begin to anticipate the harvest. You begin to affirm the harvest. You know the harvest is coming because we have seen loss. Because there has been nothing, then there's something that's going to come from it. It has to. It's the law of nature. And so therefore, I'm just awaiting the harvest. So you're able to kind of bring yourself into a different space. Powerful moon. I told y'all. I told you. It goes on. It goes on. So there's also an opposition to Neptune. And in this case, I think there may be some things to think about. One thing that I noticed or noted was insight and understanding of the self and the exploration of the mysteries, this effort of self-refinement. It's really about passing down the information. So if you're in that space, for some reason, I feel like it's like table that for a minute. Take a moment during the moon for any of that. Like if that's what you're doing, that's great, that's fine. But take a pause and really, really affirm your harvest and really, really think about who has been around you and what it is that represents these things for you. I think that it's important to do that. Okay? I don't want to, in other words, I feel like you don't want to get lost in that because it's Neptune. Neptune will lose you. Trust me. Neptune will lose you. All right. So there's a trine between the moon, and all of these aspects that I'm talking about are in relationship with the moon, the full moon that's coming in. There's a trine to Mars. Mars is in 15 degrees Capricorn. That makes it a real strong Mars. Mars wants what it wants when it wants it. Okay. There's a trine between that and the moon, and so there's gonna be it talks about physical exercise, being able to kind of flush out the emotions, and it talks about competition bringing achievement. So there's the sense of competition that Mars and in Capricorn is bringing, which is okay, but it feels like it needs to be channeled somewhere. So if you want to channel it somewhere, channel it into physical exercise. So if you feel like you want to, I don't know, I don't know, plunge forward, then go run it off. Okay. Also, if you're dealing with emotions, anything of an emotional nature, as you are connecting with your kindred souls, as you are thinking about, you know, what it is that you are, about the harvest, if you're thinking about the things that you're bringing, that you have gratitude around, that's where the energy really needs to be. Anything else, I would say exercise. That's what I would say about that for sure. All right, so we have a trine to Jupiter. Jupiter is that expansive planet. It's the planet that is going to expand your mind. So when you talk about expanding the mind or broadening the mind, when we go back to what's going on with the moon, and you're talking about um, just being sensitive to the fact that the universe is bringing you information or bringing you harvest, and you being able to be in gratitude about that, and then expanding what your expectation is of the harvest too, is where Jupiter comes in. And Jupiter, now this is what's really interesting. What Jupiter is focusing on, or what the energy that's coming through Jupiter, is looking at the failures and the defeats. And the idea that the failure and the defeat is really the success. That's really the best of what you had. And then not focusing on what's good or what's bad about a situation, but what did I gain from this experience? The positive ones and the negative ones, both of them, and treat them the same. And by doing so, you really come away with a wealth of information about who you are and what you're here to do and why it's important that you exist. And that's an empowering thing to think about. And it's a different frame of reference. And that's what we have to do. We have to find a different frame of reference. So this idea of expanding the mind and really going into some deep recesses. These really are some deep recesses. So, I say by all means, just, capitalize on this moment if you can. It talks about how we respond to success and failure, how we find lessons, positive lessons in failure. And it talks about if you're focused on winning, then you're losing. And what you're losing is grace and wisdom. I mean, I'm done. I can't go on. There's more, people. There's more. There's more. There's more. And it's all packed in this full moon. Please take full advantage. I know for some people, whatever, I'm not even going to begin to explain, but what I'm going to say to you is tap into your moon energy, tap into your moon power, and roll with it and just experience it for yourself. I give full moon readings the week before the full moon. So if you want to get your full moon reading, go ahead and get it now. There's more. There's more. I'm not even done yet. The video is almost 20 minutes long. It's supposed to be 15. There's more. So get your personal full moon reading. You can do that by clicking the links below, and you can follow me and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. I knew 2020 was going to be something else. The energy has just been off the chain, people. So I want you to tap in. I want you to get connected, and I want you to really start to remember that you're people of the earth, and that you can go to the earth, and the earth will feed you, and the earth will give to you, and she will show you her abundance and what abundance really is. And you'll have to expand your expectation. You'll have to do it. You won't have a choice. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you're having a wonderful life. If you need to reach out to me, I'm at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. You can go to the website, wooingnature.life, woo, WOOING, nature.life. We've got the services on there. If you have any questions, you can just email me, and I will talk to you about whatever it is that you have a question about. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you have a wonderful life.